Wednesday on the Centennial team. SNC and Stripe Schools working together. We greatly appreciate it. It is Milford in the purple and Superior in the white. These two teams played over the holiday break, actually. Milford winning 42-30 back on December the 28th. The Centennial Superior teams are just 15-3 on the season. Outside of that loss to Milford, there's two others. The Eagles 16-4. Jackson will be able to speak as it's wrong with the channel. We'll speak a little bit more about these Milford Eagles this year. How has the season? Obviously, it's been pretty good, but how has it gone this year? Shayla with a nice drive and a finish in the paint between the Meyer girls. And this is a baseline drive for Trisha Hayes that comes up off the front. And then a foul in the backcourt. They will call it on Trisha Hayes herself. Her first team's first. The student section, in effect, it's jersey night for the Milford Three across the way there. You guys didn't hear that. That counts. I like that. That's cool. About 2 minutes gone by here in this opening quarter. Saw Superior take on Sutton in the semifinals on Thursday. The thing I noticed about the Wildcats when they were on offense was that Sutton had good luck when they would pressure, and actually Superior would try to force that first pass in. But Jayla Bliski's going to have a lot to say about this game as she opens with the first 5 points for the Eagles. Onto the block for Kaylynn Meyer, getting a fling of a shot, won't go, and it's tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Shayla drop. Starting 5 for Milford drop. That was Hannah Becker, Noah Stockton, Jayla Bliski, and Callie Harriman. For Superior, Zavea cups up. Holly Miller, Trisha Hayes, Shayla Meyer, and Kaylynn Meyer. Kaylynn takes away a rebound. We've had all the recent publicities of Milford and Stripe also. Okay. I would expect that nomination shortly. So 5-4 right now. Whoa, there's Meyer with a little block shot, and she snatches the rebound. But they call it for the travel. Didn't get the pivot, kind of spun around on it. So called for the travel, a turnover right back, essentially. And now we're playing one-on-one. It's Kaylynn Meyer 4 and Jayla Bliski 5. First sub of the game about to come. And that is number 8. Honestly, I won't tell Brandon. Stopper throws back in the corner. This is, if I'm not mistaken, Jackson, this is a rematch of the SNC volleyball championship game too. Good athletes, good coaches, and it makes it a lot of fun to watch. The man-to-man defense for Superior, they played a lot of zone against Sutton in the semifinals, and they opened with that zone. And then saw Bliski dive right here, and then Trisha Hayes got the dribble of Kepler away, and Kaylynn Meyer there for a steal. Kaylynn tries to take it coast to coast, but has it partially directed on the way up, and here come the Eagles. Up by 1, but looking for more. Kepler on the reversal off the front. And that's going to bring it out of bounds and be Superior basketball.
There it looks like playing a lot of yards on that. Just on that last Kaylynn Meyer before trying to pull that in.
Yeah, the first time Meyer blocks you, it just kind of messes with it. Man, she was a long way away. up ahead of most people. Her shot there will not find the bottom of the net. The rebound is kicked around and going to the free throw line will be Hallie Miller. Miller in the first and 2 up again. By the way, we get a chance. I don't know if the guys running the games, but check out the video boards here at Centennial. They've got headshot, everything. Pull up there while Hallie is shooting free throws. Video board there in the Whiskey drives and is fouled by Meyer. That's Shayla. First and team second. Does throws it off the back of Shayla Meyer and gets it in herself. Nobody's open. I will do it myself. Turns back down, has it swatted by Kaylynn and rebounded by Meyer as well. So that's why Whiskey came out of the game before. A cut somewhere up on her upper left arm. That's a black athletic tape that she's sporting there now. A drive and a missed shot from Hallie Miller. And then pressure in the backcourt. Kobza takes it away. And then Kobza throws it away.
Eagles really fortunate though. That was the 2 easy runs that had a Wildcat for 3-point advantage. So now taking another Wildcats.
30-second timeout taken by Superior coach Jim Silver. And we will take it as well. And we'll come back. Centennial High School for the SNC Girls Championship game. Milford and Superior. So the Wildcats on top, 6-5. Whiskey on the dribble drive, hands, and again, third block shot for Kaylynn Meyer. That one goes out of bounds. Inbounds is deflected. Now it's loose. Now we've got bodies on the floor. What do we got? Jump ball. Possession, Milford. Put up there by Hout, and the rebound for Hayes. Let's get better ball movement by Superior. A dribble drive and a pull up and a shot made by Shayla Meyer.
That was a nice shot where they got the Eagles really flying around and then they kind of got the Eagles overshooting. Your main camera.
That was probably the best ball movement in a half-court set we've seen from Superior.
I did what I always
so
do.
far in this game, and it got themselves
Okay,
nice little
resume. I need to
So
do
8-5 Superior on top. A little over 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Whiskey with a spin move and kicks it back out. Didn't want Kaylynn Meyer to get the fourth block. That was a dribble over the top of everybody. Goes over. Stop with Whiskey. That count is on, but hands it off now to stop. dishes it out. Good ball with an open three. Stockford. Rebound for Hayes. Good patient set that time from Milford. Just couldn't get the shot to go.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was going to say. Just trying to get the ball moving around, and they couldn't get anything.
Fourth turnover there for the Wildcats. The high fastball was just a little bit too much for Kaylynn Meyer to get her long arms on.
And that's what really helped the Eagles out these turnovers by the Wildcats. Just allowing the Eagles to stay right there and the Wildcats slowly pull away from the lead.
Minute to go, first quarter. Kepler takes it to high post, turns, goes left, got by Meyer and put it in. The old hesitation, fake the handoff, and right back to the rim. Excellently done by Hannah Kepler. And 8-7 is our score. Milford back within one. Meyer into a triple team, hands it back out for Kobza. Now Shayla Meyer pops open her three, banks home for Shayla Meyer.
Again, nice ball movement there by the Wildcats, finding the open shot and setting the lead score.
Yeah, last two possessions have been much better with ball movement for the Wildcats.
And I assume that was what they addressed during that recent timeout by the Wildcats. But I feel like timeout again.
A deflection and a steal up top. Trisha Hayes gets this steal and draws the foul on Shelby Groff. Shelby's first. That's actually the third on the Eagles here in the first quarter. Final 15 seconds of the period. Wildcats with the basketball. Meyer gets open, backside, nobody goes with her. Can't get the shot, but will get 2 free throws.
Man, that was a nice backdoor. Just right up the middle. Nobody was looking for the block for the Eagles. That's exactly what we practiced about.
Hannah Kepler picks up the foul. It's her first in the team's 2 shots for Shayla Meyer. So again, we're going to see it. Can we get a camera on the video board?
Video board, Dawson. Video board. Video board.
So kudos to the media team here at Centennial High School for putting this together. Really sharp. Final seconds, here's the 3 just off the bat. And that's how we will end the first quarter of play. Superior 13, Milford 7. Back to the second quarter after this. Tried to get it to the high post, and a jump ball is called. They tried to get it to Meyer, but Shelby Grunt got in there and got a piece of the ball first before Kaylynn could rip it away. That will go down as the 5th turnover of the game against the Wildcats so far.
And you mentioned the zone look from the Eagles. It will be interesting to see what they came up with during this quarter break to come back into this game. They really kind of struggled. The Wildcats made an adjustment over a timeout. See what the Eagles have done now.
Go man-to-man on the defense for Superior, so the Eagles keep running those guards through that double screen up top. Kepler had it knocked free. Now we got a little scramble. Eagles control. Kepler top the key. Over the far side for drop. A great long possession here for the Eagles.
And usually long possessions, they turn into points. You wear that defense down and you get an open look. We'll see what happens here.
I was going to say Superior, as the reason it's gone so long, Superior has played really good defense.
That they haven't.
Kepler got by Meyer and gets the put in.
Yeah, that was nice, just fundamental basketball there by the Eagles. Kepler pump fake, went around Meyer and put it in for 2 points.
Kepler's 4 points have come on quick moves to get around Kaylynn Meyer, and then a steal for Politsky and a foul on the Wildcats. Going to call it on Kobza.
Nice job by Politsky. She anticipated that pass. It was telegraphed. And she just went right to where it was going, picked it off, and got the turnover for the Eagles. And they did the foul as well.
Kepler up top. On the block and back out. Stoffer's got it, top the key for Politsky on the right side, guarded by Shayla Meyer. Shayla's got a good 2-3 inches on Politsky, but athleticism-wise, that's a pretty even matchup. Kepler up top will fire the 3 over Kaylynn Meyer. It won't go, and Kaylynn grabs the rebound.
Kepler had been kind of hesitating on those threes. I assume those couple blocks got to her there. She felt like she had open look, took the shot.
How about the block shot from Kepler? Now the long run out. Stoffer against Shayla Meyer. She'll stop. The cavalry come. The double team will come and she'll lose it. Have it taken away. Onto the block. Kaylynn's open. Got it to go.
And there, nice job by Carol. She was behind Meyer and just, instead of fouling, just let her put it in.
Yep.
Most likely in that situation, she'd be going to the line to shoot one as well. Just pretty good chance to put it in.
Kaylynn Meyer with 6 points here in the early going. It is a 6-point lead for the Wildcats of Superior. 3 minutes gone in the second quarter. Onto the block and back out. Kepler will wind up the 3. Bounces long. And tracking down the rebound goes Sierra Blackburn. Hands it off to Trisha Hayes out there in the far corner. Now Miller. Skip pass for Shayla Meyer. The Milford student section that made the trip is the vocal ones right now. Blackburn fires a 3 and swishes it home.
There was nobody there on defense. She had all day to shoot that ball, and she used that time set-up shot, and perfect 3, drained it right down the center.
Well, and I tell you, a really good half-court set against that zone against Sutton on Thursday for Superior was Kaylynn Meyer at the high post and Shayla on the block. You might normally think of that being opposite, but they actually had some really good success with Kaylynn being farther away from the basket. Foul was on Hallie Miller, her first, and the team's 4th. Each team with 4 fouls so far here in the first half.
Eagles making a little change here on offense, see if what they can do. Sydney Stelling coming in. She's got a lot of speed. I don't know if they have something drawn up for her for this game.
And Politsky again, the inbounds, throws it in off of a Wildcat who wasn't looking at her. And then we're going to get a jump ball that's going to go to Superior on the alternating possession.
The Eagles had a lot of trouble on Thursday inbounding the ball off of a press, and Politsky wasn't inbounding it. I assume she would have done something similar to that then, but again, they really have had trouble inbounding the ball this week.
Meyer throws it backside for Hayes. Up top, Kobza now lobs it late. Looked like a shot, and I think the Eagles were turning to box out Meyer, and actually it ended up being a pass to Kaylynn, and actually a foul on Caraher. It's Callie's first, the team's 5th. Hayes dumps it down. Kaylynn Meyer puts it up and in. 8 points for Kaylynn.
And there, Caraher straight up and down. Nothing she can do. I mean, textbook defense, but height advantage won the battle there.
Blitzky on the drive. Into the corner it goes for Hauk. Back up, now into the wing for Mowinkle. Seven to 2 start in the first 5 minutes of the quarter for Superior, and there a turnover, the 5th of the game for Milford.
And there, Hauk just threw it out of bounds. I think she thought Mowinkle was going to pop up more than she did, but Mowinkle was looking to cut down in and maybe get a back door look.
You are absolutely correct, Jackson. Meyer, 3 in the far corner, swishes at home, big smile on her face. Her second 3 of the game, and a timeout for Milford. Coach Phil Stauffer wants to talk things over as his team is now trailing by 14 points. It's 23-9 with 2:36 to go in the first half. A timeout, and back to Centennial after this.
Welcome back to the action here in Centennial out of the Eagle timeout. See what adjustments they made. They're down 14, 2:35 to go in the second quarter. The score is 23-9.
Jackson, the ball movement has been good for Milford, but the execution on the shot is where the Eagles are lacking the most. That's the 4th block of the first half right there for Kaylynn Meyer. Yep, she does patrol the paint very well, but you got to be able to figure out a way to get, for instance, right now, Kaylynn Meyer is guarding Hannah Kepler. I hate to say it, but Hannah needs to be somewhere not close to the rim, and that could open up some driving lanes for the Eagles.
Well, and right here you see Meyer, she sags down, and the Eagles, I don't know what they need to do. Obviously playing textbook man-to-man defense. She's sagging down on that block, and so that's hard to drive in because then she just steps up and takes the lane. But there you see Kepler getting the 3-point shot.
Yeah, that would help if Hannah can knock down a few of those. That's going to bring Meyer out more.
Yeah, catch her cheating out on defense and then get that look down low. 7
points for Kepler in the ball game, and a needed basket there, but an answer from Kaylynn Meyer. Kaylynn and Shayla each with 10 for the Wildcats, and the lead back to 13 for Superior.
I know there's not a lot the Eagles can do because of the height advantage, but they need to find something to shut her down on offense. Otherwise, there's no way the Eagles can come back from this deficit if every time the Wildcats go down the floor and get 2 points.
Kepler has it top of the key. Dribbles to her left, got by both Meyer girls, couldn't finish it though. That time, I think she was expecting maybe some contact or some more rotation, and I think she put more into the dribble than she did the shot that time.
Well, and I'll tell you, just from watching, almost all the Eagles' shots look different because they're trying to get over the height advantage the Wildcats have, especially the 2 Meyer girls.
That shot from Trisha Hayes looked more like an intentional pass off the hoop than it did a shot. In any effect, it's another basket for Kaylynn Meyer, and the lead is 15 for the Wildcats, their biggest lead of the game. A reminder, this matchup happened in December over the holiday break, and Milford won it 42-30. But Superior has a very real chance of getting 30 in the first half of this one.
But what happened in that game was a little different. Kaylynn Meyer was not suiting up for the Wildcats. She was doing some national volleyball
was she playing
thing or something.
Sure. Well, that makes sense.
And yeah, she missed the game. And right now we're seeing the effects of that, her missing that game.
Well, duly noted. This final seconds of the second quarter, into the corner. Who's going to shoot it? Nobody does. Fling at the hoop. That was well off. Not great awareness by the Eagles at the end of the quarter, and it's all Superior at the half. 29-12. That was a 16-5 quarter in favor of the Superior Wildcats. So we're going to take a timeout. We'll come back to to Centennial High School, where Superior leads it 29-12. You're watching StriveSports.com.
My name is William Scarf. I'm a diesel tech here in York, Nebraska for Truck Center Companies. Before I started working here, I helped a smaller mechanic shop, and I did some work here and there. And then I started working on some engines at home in my shop. And then that's when I kind of got my jump with diesel. I've liked the experience they're giving me, the hours they're able to give me, and just the training and all the accessories. Pay is good, benefits are wonderful. Basically, they offer basically all benefits. Pretty happy that I was able to find it so quickly, right after high school basically. It was really jump right into it, and turns out to be a really good place to start a career.
It's thanks to you that we're where we are today. We're proud to watch these communities grow because they're our communities too. Our neighbors, our friends. It's where we live. These are all our hometowns. And no matter what, the people who will continue to serve your needs with the hometown support you know and trust are just down the street. Cornerstone Bank, growing together. It's thanks to you that we're
Welcome back to Centennial for this girls SNC championship game between the Milford Eagles and the Superior Wildcats. Thus far, Wildcats have basically dominated the game. They lead by 17, 29-12 is the score. Eagles have the ball though to start the second half. See what they were able to draw up over halftime. They need to make some big changes. Kaylynn Meyer has been dominating down low on offense as well as defense.
You mentioned down low. Well, 4 block shots, about 7 or 8 rebounds, and 14 points for Kaylynn Meyer. Shayla Meyer tossed in 10. Hallie Miller, 2, and Sierra Blackburn hit a 3 as well for the Superior Wildcats. In the first half for Milford, it was 7 points from Hannah Kepler and 5 from Jayla Politsky. And remember, when Jayla had more points by herself than the entire Superior team. 5th block of the game right there for Kaylynn Meyer. And now we have 3 announcers. Look at this, folks. I don't even have to talk the rest of the day, as Nathan from Sutton will be joining us for the rest of the night. And just on cue, Kaylynn Meyer puts in her 16th point. Nathan, what have you seen? You watched the whole first half. You just weren't on a microphone. What have you seen from Superior in the game?
They're definitely moving the ball around well, but I think at the same time they're trying to force it in a little bit too much, and they're relying a little bit on Kaylynn Meyer, but relying on her is not a bad thing with her height in the middle of the lane, and it's not a bad deal at all.
Now they get it on the block for Shayla Meyer, and she will go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Interesting change for the Eagles out of halftime. They were in a 2-3 zone going into halftime. They started in man-to-man. Now they're back to that man-to-man defense. See what they saw. When they went to the 2-3 zone, they caught the Wildcats off guard, but it started to really fall apart after that.
Shayla hits the free throw, 11 points in the game for her. Oh, and a steal on the inbounds. Trisha Hayes came from nowhere and stole the inbounds and laid it right back in.
Gropp nor Kepler were looking at it, and they just threw it right to her, and nobody was ready for it and got the easy bucket.
Politsky drives right wing, pulls up the 3 and splashes it home.
She was practicing that move just out of halftime, waiting to see if she was going to use it or not, and there she did.
Coach Jim Sullivan for Superior says, nope. That's exactly what we talked about at halftime. We're not going to let that happen. And the Wildcats take their second timeout of the game. 35-15, 6.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. We've got the boys championship game coming up next. That is Sutton and Centennial, 2 teams that were, I believe that was the rematch from last year's SNC championship game too. So we'll have that one for you here on Strive Sports as well.
Just looking into the Eagle huddle right now, they look dejected. They look out of it. They just be interesting to see if they can get some momentum to kind of change that mood, because with that mood, you're not really going to get anywhere.
Chins up. Always something to look forward to and try to get better at. Kobza takes the inbounds. Now Shayla Meyer back to Kobza. Skip it over the top. Miller goes baseline and is nudged out of bounds. One thing I did notice in that first half, and it didn't necessarily show up in numbers of fouls, but very, very physical play from both teams. Nobody made a cut across the lane without getting an elbow or a nudge here or there, and some loose balls that got a little scrappy, and the officials on top of everything. I'm not saying they didn't see everything, but they definitely didn't call it like that. So if you know, officiating the game kind of changes from time to time over the course of the game. So it'll be interesting to see how they call this thing in the second half. The foul, by the way, was on Kepler, and that is her third. Third of the half already against Milford.
Getting back to the officials, as long as they're consistent, that's all I care. I don't like to see weird calls on one team, not the other, and as long as they're consistent, that's all that matters.
Yep, I totally agree. And they were consistent. Maybe I didn't say that. It was consistently physical on both ends.
Yeah, not to say that they weren't, but as long as they are calling it that way, that's fine.
Politsky drives, had it kicked away from her. And a steal for the Wildcats. Here comes Meyer, a little bump, lost it off her own leg, lost it out of bounds. So the ball giveth and the ball taketh back.
You saw there with Politsky trying to drive in. I really have a feeling she's going to try and pick up this team and carry it on her shoulders and do what she can to bring the Eagles back.
There is Politsky on the left wing, guarded by Shayla Meyer. Now hands it back to Shelby Gropp. And there's a little bump and a foul. Trisha Hayes picks up her second. First team foul on the Wildcats in the half. All the way up top for Gropp. Politsky kicks the three from Stauffer. And the rebound for Miller.
Hauk reaching in there a little bit, no foul called.
Nobody stops ball. Miller goes right to the rim. Can't get it to go though. Politsky the rebound. Here comes Jayla. Pinned it on her right hip. That threw the timing of the shot off a little bit. And Meyer there for the rebound. That reach on Stauffer. Nevaeh's first, the team's fourth. Politsky comes out, Mowinkle comes in. Miller goes baseline for Kopsa. Now Meyer up with left hand, got it, and a foul. Callie Caraher's like, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do there.
And I'm not.
Trust me, Callie, nobody else knows either.
And I'm not sure where they saw the foul at. Maybe a little bit of contact, but I think Caraher was doing all she could to stay straight up and down. I mean, maybe a little more incidental contact is what was called.
20 points in the game now for Kaylynn Meyer.
That's only half.
Yeah, 40-15 is your score. What, do you think that made a difference from the first time these two teams played?
I would put money on it that it did.
Into the corner, the three from Mowinkle skips off the back. Meyer the rebound.
Now Hauk may not have the height that Meyer does, but man, she isn't intimidated by it at all. She's reaching in there trying to get that ball away from her more than about anybody on the Eagle squad.
Miller on the wing. Zone on the. Oh, and we just. Are we okay?
I think we're good.
Okay. Block shot to Shelby Gropp. Oh, wait, no, that was four. I'm sorry, it was four. It was Stauffer. The three from Hayes on the inbounds. And here come the Eagles with it. Gropp has it, dribbling up top between the circles. Oh, nobody home when she rotated down.
And Gropp and Politsky both trying to drive in. I think they need to try and look at bringing that shot out, maybe getting a shot near the elbow.
Emma Schnockenberg, first time we've seen her in the ball game, takes the shot, can't get it to go though, and a foul called. And whoop. 42 is Noelle McMean into the game for the Wildcats.
Just looking at the foul totals, Eagles with 5 already in the third quarter, Wildcats only 2.
And 3 of those fouls for Milford have been shooting fouls for Superior. That 3 went up by Hauk, and the rebound is off Superior, will stay with Milford. So a rare second chance opportunity for the Eagles.
And they're going to have to take advantage. This is a situation where if if you want to come back, this is where it's going to happen. Down 25. Need to start scoring now soon and somehow.
Now only 3 points in the quarter here for the Eagles. That was on a 3 from Politsky on one of their first possessions. Politsky and Kepler and Stauffer all coming back in for Milford.
Really impressed by this man-to-man defense by the Wildcats. It is almost over midway through the third quarter, and it's just as tight as it was the first minute of play.
Politsky on this spin move, tried to leave it down the lane. Lucky that comes back to an Eagle. The 3 from Politsky kisses off the glass but won't go. But another opportunity for Milford.
Eagles stepping up the rebounding game. They got to take advantage of it while they can. Back to what I was saying about the tight man-to-man defense. As the Eagles throw the ball out of bounds. I'd like to see the Eagles start running a little bit of more offensive plays that involve a lot of screens. I mean, and setting good solid screens and getting open that way, because dribbling the ball back and forth ain't doing it so far.
Yeah, that 3 weave up top isn't Superior's kind of too quick to be able to let that fool them, if you will. So far, the score in the quarter, 11-3 in favor of Superior. They won the second quarter 16-5. Actually getting better defensively as the game goes on. Now Shayla Meyer tied up, had it knocked out of her hands.
Politsky with a block. They're calling it a foul, but from here, and my biased response would be that that was not a foul. It looked pretty much like all ball.
The official on the near side is talking to Coach Stauffer. Coach Stauffer's like, no, she double dribbled. Like, she dribbled it once, picked it up, and then she dribbled it again. And I believe the official is saying, no, she had it touched by another player. 6 of one, half dozen the other. Depends if you're wearing striped shirt or not, if you like the call. It happens.
Kepler driving in, trying to make something happen there. Nothing going, blocked from Shayla Meyer.
One of the main reasons she was able to get to the block as I was watching is Superior's defense, yes, they're man-to-man, but they're also playing very aggressively and sometimes even going past the Eagles. So if you're an Eagle, maybe even a shot fake and trying to dribble in, and you'll definitely get something on them.
Travel called. Shayla Meyer had a good thought to spin back, but didn't come to a good jump stop to allow her to spin back. And now a timeout, full timeout, going to be taken by Milford coach Phil Stauffer. So we will as well. 42-15 in the SNC Girls Championship. Back to Centennial after this.
back to Centennial for this SNC Girls Basketball Championship final. Eagles trailing by quite a lot. Just under a minute to play in the third quarter. Eagles will have the ball. See what they drew up under that full timeout.
Jackson's broadcasting lesson, Nathan, for you. No, you can't say quite a lot. No, we got to say 27.
I looked at it and I'm like, I got to do the math.
I know, math is so tough when you're on the spot like that. Plisky baseline. Foul, not on the shot, but on Trisha Hayes. Third on Trisha, the third on the Wildcats of the half. So before the shot, so an inbounds for Milford.
The Eagles lucky to get that in, just releasing it out to Mowinkle.
Now Plisky goes to work on Hayes. Steps back, fires a three. Offense, well, out of it for a second. We'll give the rebound just instead to Kaylynn Meyer.
Looked like a little bit of contact from Hayes down low on Stelling, but nothing was called.
Now we got a loose ball out there on the wing and a jump ball, and the possession stays with Superior. The final 14 seconds. So the Milford kids tell me they like the scoreboard camera so that they don't have to keep clock during the game. So fundraising efforts underway right now to get the Milford kids another camera so they can do this normally. Here's a three from McMean. Misses everything with a full second left. And a reach-in foul on Schnackenberg with .2. It's the first on Emma and the fourth on the Wildcats. And with .2, can't do much of anything with that. And that's how we will end the third quarter of play. The score of the quarter, 13-5. 13-3, excuse me. Back for the fourth and final after this.
Welcome back to the action here in Centennial for this SNC championship game. Eagles down 27. They'll have the ball to start the fourth and final quarter. Passing it in for the Eagles is Hannah Kepler. Receiving it is Jayla Plisky. She'll bring it up the floor for the Eagles. Jackson, you got play-by-play for the next 3 minutes. Awesome. Okay, now up top.
I'll give you the scoring book, too. There you go.
Plisky up top with it. Kicks it to Stelling in the corner. Stelling's going to bring it up. Stopped at the elbow, gets it to Stauffer. Stauffer, tight defense being played by Miller. Kicks to Plisky. Plisky pump fakes, drives in now. Off Meyer, fouled. She'll be heading the line to shoot two.
First foul on Kaylynn. Hey, this is the part of the broadcast where I tell everyone that's watching at home, first of all, thank you for watching and supporting the Milford streams, the Centennial streams, the Sutton streams. Every school in the SNC is a Strive school, as Plisky makes both of those, or makes the second, I should say. But also a reminder that while, yes, we want to put on a good broadcast, no matter what school we're at, we want to show you a good game. We want to do things well. The other thing that you are watching is a classroom. And what Strive is trying to provide is the platform and really the support and education around doing a live stream. So is it always perfect? No. Are there things that happen that nobody can really knows why it happened? Well, yeah, sometimes. Do things get said that shouldn't sometimes? Well, maybe sometimes. We hope not, but hopefully nothing too awful. But really, you are watching a live classroom, and so kind of always something to think about, I always like to say. Jackson, that's all I got. Back to you.
Okay, well, thank you. That was Hannah Kepler's fourth foul. Who was called for that foul. That put Shayla Meyer at the line. She put the first free throw in, as you saw, and goes 2 for 2.
And I've been watching her shooting free throws tonight, and you probably have the number up there, Jackson, but she has not missed a ton of free throws in this game, and in big games it'll come down to it. Free throws are huge and important, but not as big as that three.
Yeah, big three there from Nevaeh Stauffer. That's her first points of the night. Really surprising. She's usually fairly strong from beyond the arc. There she's just getting going. Now the Wildcats, now bringing in is Meyer, puts it up. I would say it was blocked by the Eagles. Nice defense, though, by Hauk. Really getting out there, playing tough on her, and not letting the size or talent level intimidate her. Gropp playing a tight man-to-man. Wildcats get it down low to Hayes. Pass blocked away. Hauk trying to get it somewhere. Picked off, though, by Hallie Miller. And travel is going to be called on Shayla Meyer. Big break for the Eagles. Looked like that was probably going to be 2 points for the Wildcats. It'll be Eagle ball now. They still trail by 25.
Very good.
Thank you.
By the way, the score by quarter for Milford has been 7-5-3. So we've already beat that in this quarter. The three anyway. The trend is over. That's what I'm trying to say.
Nice footwork by Politsky, driving in, kicks to Hauk. Hauk set, shoots three. That's going to be short rebound, though, by Callie Kerr. She goes up strong, in for two for Kerr.
By the way, Nathan, you're going to have the play-by-play for the last 4 minutes.
All righty.
Now here come the Wildcats, see what they have on offense. Down low, Kaylynn Meyer kicks out. In the corner, tight defense, and the foul is going to be called on Politsky. She was all over. She was all over Hallie Miller. Now that puts Miller at the line, shooting 1-1. And can't put it in. Callie Kerr with the rebound for the Eagles. Politsky's going to bring it up the floor. Gets it down low to Kerr in transition, and Kerr can't put it in. Meyer was there applying some pressure. Ball gets knocked free. Hallie Miller, though, gets control of it for the Wildcats. She'll bring it down the floor now. Gropp in chase. A little contact. Driving in. And putting it in is Trisha Hayes, and one. She's on the line, looking to complete the three-point play. Foul's going to go on Shelby Gropp for the Eagles. And Hayes completes the three-point play. Gropp looking to drive, kicks to Kerr. Kerr set, shoots the three, drains it. Kerr, the post, getting some points from beyond the arc. She did that on Thursday as well. Says if her teammates aren't getting anything done from beyond the arc, she'll do it herself. Well, the Eagles take a timeout. It's a full timeout. We'll be right back. Wildcats with a 23-point lead. Score is 47-24, 5:33 left to play.
Pumpkin Pantry, the only thing more surprising than our variety of name brand snacks is the variety of people who walk through our front doors. And at this point, nothing you ask for surprises us. From tube chips, tri-cornered tortilla crisps, icing bluffs, pressurized buttery corn puffs, meat missiles, small people covered in sour crystals, protein cocoon, pizza chews, tree sprites, chocolate stripes, stuff we can't advertise. Sweet, salty, also sour, adolescent jet power. No matter who you are or what you're craving, we got it. Pump up your day at Pumpkin Pantry. At Pumpkin Pantry, the only thing more surprising.
Welcome back to the action here in Centennial. We got 5:33 to play. Wildcats with a 23-point advantage over the Eagles. It'll be Wildcat ball. Eagles going to apply a bit of a press here, actually a lot of a press. And ball is released. Politsky trying to get a hold of it. Pass was looking to go for Kobza. Now Politsky's going to bring it down the floor for the Eagles. Retreats at the three-point line, brings it up top, sets up the offense, gets it to Elena Peening. Stauffer. Pass nearly broken up by Kobza. Now Karaher in the corner for three. Little long rebound by Shayla Meyer.
Might I add, there was a lot of contact on that play as she got the pass off to her teammate, and just a little bit of touchy play here by both teams as we enter the last 5 minutes.
And throwing it up as Hallie Miller can't put it in. And they're going to say the Eagles blocked that. It'll be Wildcat ball. Miller to pass it in for the Wildcats. Get it in to Shayla Meyer. And Meyer just rolls it over the front of the rim. Stauffer up top. Nice screen set by Houck. Stauffer pump fake, didn't shoot. Now Politsky again, looking like she wants to shoot but doesn't. Now Stauffer deep three coming from her, way short. Rebound Kaylynn Meyer. Peening applying a lot of pressure on Miller. Miller brings it across half court though. Miller trying to drive in, two Eagles there fighting for it. And that's going to go out of bounds off Politsky.
All right, line change. Nathan gets the book. All right, here you go. Like we said, live classroom here, folks. You're going to hear from Nathan Ladhoff of Sutton the rest of the way.
Sutton, all right. Well, we got Superior ball out of bounds, and we're going to see they're in a box set, and it's going to be a lob into Kaylynn Meyer, who's going to go up and gets fouled. We're going to see who that foul is on. It's going to be number 3, Hannah Kepler. And that is her 5th foul, so fouling out of the game here is Hannah Kepler, and they're going to bring in a sub. That's going to be
Taylor Stelling.
Taylor Stelling.
Yeah, I probably don't have everybody written down there, so.
Kaylynn Meyer good on that first free throw. And she's going to get an opportunity for one more.
She had 20 through 3 quarters, so 21 and 22.
22.
That's it.
It feels like a lot more, doesn't it?
Exactly. I would have said she had more, honestly. I mean, she was getting a lot of looks down low, and just as she did on that inbounds play, got the shot down low.
I think for me, the first time the legend of Kaylynn Meyer came to be was, I think it was her freshman year, and Superior is playing Sandy Creek in the SNC championship game, and I'm pretty sure Kaylynn had like 28 points and about 20 rebounds, and it was just like, who is this girl? Oh, yeah, that was the one from volleyball. Oh, yeah, she's really good.
Just thinking about it now, looking back at the SNC volleyball championship, numbers are looking pretty similar, both really high for either sport.
And actually, during that play, we had number 10, Shayla Politsky. She fouled out of the game as well for the Milford Eagles. So 2 players fouled out on the Eagles.
And normally that would be detrimental, but at this point it's not looking very likely that the Eagles come back. So as much as I'm sure Kepler and Politsky want to continue playing, really isn't. It's going to hurt the Eagle cause, but it's not going to cause them to.
Quick, Nathan, what's the math?
The math, let's see. 6, 3,
Carry the
29,
there you
maybe.
go.
29, good enough. My dad is a high school math teacher. Just a little fun fact, so I hope I got that right.
Oh, boy.
You'll hear about it when you get home.
Well,
if you didn't get it right.
Well, he is right. Jackson, you're supposed to back him up on that.
Well, I was just in for future reference.
Okay.
We got one more game.
That's right.
That's true. Kaylynn Meyer not able to get it to go, and now a foul on the baseline. And a surprised look by number 24, Trisha Hayes. That's her 4th personal, team 6th.
Is that the first time we've seen Kaylynn Meyer miss from down low and she wasn't fouled?
That's very likely it could be.
It doesn't happen very often. Well, when you're 6'3", you're like
Right.
just natural percentages. You're like, I'm 5'8". Well, she has a better chance of making it because she's closer to the rim, right?
Right, and usually if she misses it, then Shayla Meyer's there to get the rebound and the putback, and we hardly notice it because they still score on that play.
Right.
Well, and 6'3" and a 7-foot wingspan to go along with that height advantage, really you don't miss very often.
The Eagles are going to have it, and the superior Wildcats still in the man-to-man defense. Very impressive for a game going this late. You can start to see a little bit of the exhaustedness out of mainly the Wildcat starters that are out there. The bench players, though, coming on the court full of energy, and that really gives a boost to the Wildcats. And now we got a foul for 2 shots.
I don't know if it's just more the gameplay, but fouls are coming more often in the second half than they were in the first half.
And we now have our 3rd player to foul out of the game. This time, it's Trisha Hayes of the Wildcats. To a standing ovation by the Wildcat crowd. We're going to have Nevaeh Stauffer shooting 2. And the first one good. No good. Kaylynn Meyer on the rebound.
Stelling reaching in there, playing tight defense, trying to get that ball away from Meyer.
Meyer looked as if she wanted to shoot a 3. Kaylynn, that is.
She can, by the way.
She can.
It's terrifying.
I think we witnessed that, Eric, Thursday night. I think she hit a big one in the game. And now the Wildcats maintaining possession of the ball. Looking in, Kaylynn Meyer. She's going to circle and give it back out.
Nice defense there by Taylor Stelling.
Yep.
Not allowing that height advantage to really have a play factor in there.
Well,
Meyer puts it in for 2.
So call that 1-to-1. Stelling wins the first move, and then Meyer won the second move. Quick, what's the math? Okay,
That's
good.
a great question. So the Eagles were looking to set a high ball screen there, but Stauffer's just going to keep it and now pass it off. Dribbling around. When you start to get into dribbling too much and you have a defender close on you, you got to be wary of that 5-second count that can be put on you for the turnover. And now we're going to have another foul for 2 shots. That's going to be number 23, Ella Gardner, her first personal.
And a line change coming from Milford.
First one good for Shelby Gropp.
So we get to see Kaylynn Meyer for the last time in the SNC basketball tournament. She gets a standing O from the Superior crowd. I think everyone else in the SNC was probably silently applauding as well. Hang on, we don't have to see her anymore.
And the second free throw good for Shelby Gropp. Her only 2 points in the game coming in the free throws in almost the last minute of the game, and she's going to go take a seat on the bench as well. Presumably her night is over.
16.
That shot no good. Rebound, Ella Gardner goes up no good. And the Wildcats just out-rebounding the Eagles right now. And a 3, no good. Ella Gardner this time gets it to go.
No checkout whatsoever by the Eagle defense. Just sat there and watched as the Wildcats ran around them.
By the way, the broadcast doesn't stop just because Grandma wants to know how many points the Meyer girls have.
Of course, of course. You learned to work around that pretty well. And that 3 good. Let's see, what number is
50?
that? 50.
Molly Biscay.
Molly Biscay. 3 for her.
Student section erupted after that. Excited to see it.
She's going to shoot another one. Oh, passes it off. And that'll be the end of your girls SNC championship game. The Wildcats are going to take it 57-30.
Another SNC title for the Wildcats. Congratulations. I think it's 3 out of 4 years for them. And yes, the SNC tournament will bid a fond farewell to Kaylynn Meyer. You know, we talked and I know it maybe sounded a little bit like we were kind of on first name basis with her. The fact is that a natural talent like Kaylynn doesn't come along very often. She had 2 older sisters that are very good athletes, and neither one of them are like Kaylynn in height and athleticism, right? So even as an opponent, sometimes you just got to go, you know what, I got to play against her. And that's, you got to tell those kinds of stories. As the Wildcats get the SNC title plaque, congratulations to them. But and Shayla's very good, and I hear there's one more boy yet to come up through the ranks too. But Kaylynn's going to be a lot of fun to watch and to see what John Cook can do with her playing volleyball at Nebraska for the next 4 years. But the season's not over. Still plenty to play for both these teams. You know, for Milford, hey, you're 16-5. You got a couple games left in your regular season. Then you'll get the postseason. For Superior, you can't let up. You get Smith Center, Kansas, who has been very good historically. And then you get to end the regular season with an undefeated Lawrence Nelson team. So it'll be fun to see how everything transpires here at the end of the season. And then, of course, on to the postseason for both these teams. So fun stuff coming up. We are way ahead of schedule, I believe. So scheduled for a 7:45 start for that boys championship. I bet we wait, and we will be tipping off very close to that 7:45. So our stream will probably stop here, fellas, just giving everybody on the Milford crew a heads up. But we'll talk about that, and we'll take a little break and watch the teams get their picture taken, and Jackson and Nathan come back, and we'll do the guys game up next.
Looking forward to it.
For sure.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Centennial High School for the boys SNC championship game. It's a rematch from last year when Centennial and Sutton hooked up on this very court. It was Centennial that had the halftime lead. It was Sutton that dominated the second half on their way to an SNC title. Who will take it this year? We'll find out in about 32 minutes. It's Centennial on the home court, but in the road blue uniforms as the 2 seed, and Sutton on the floor tonight with the white uniforms. They are the home team, although they say they're going to do the Broncos still as the Centennial score on the scoreboard. So hopefully we keep everything straight. Sutton comes out firing. Cade Wiseman puts up the 3 but won't hit it. The starting lineups for Centennial: Jake Bargan, Cooper Guerin, Caleb Horn, Joel Bargan, and Lane Zimmer, the freshman. For Sutton, they'll go with Cade Wiseman, Quentin Jones, Dawson Nunnekamp, Jacob Haight, and Tyler Baldwin. And it's Baldwin that will get a foul first, and Joel Bargan will have a chance at a 3-point play out of the gate for the Broncos of Centennial.
That was a nice backdoor cut there from Bargan. Came from the left side, went to the right block, wide open down low.
My name is Eric Colgan, by the way. That's Jackson from Milford. Also Nathan from Sutton is here with us tonight. So a 3-man crew. I shouldn't have to talk much at all, but I have a feeling the action's going to be fast and furious. Nunnekamp a 3 in transition. That won't find the bottom of the net, and Cooper Guerin pulls down the rebound. So Nathan's got the inside on Sutton. I would hope so, because he lives under the same roof as the head coach. And a steal there for Quentin Jones. Jones at the other end, tough shot, but an offensive rebound for Baldwin. Has it blocked out by Bargan. I'd probably just say Bargan a lot tonight. Joel had a fantastic defensive game, while Jake lit it up in the semifinals on Thursday night. A drive for Quentin Jones, blocked by Joel. There we go.
Second block in less than 30 seconds.
The 3 that time from Caleb Horn wouldn't fall. Jones brings it up for the Mustangs. Tries to turn the corner and will get bailed out with a foul there. Called against Caleb Horn.
And that's the one he was looking for. He already tried that left-handed layup, I think about twice before he got that. He was looking for a foul on both times, and he finally got it called on that one.
So Quentin Jones to the free throw line. And you want to talk about athletes on the floor. Of course, Sutton was in the C2 football championship game this year. Centennial had played in back-to-back state football championships before this year, and a lot of guys that played a lot of minutes on the football team this year. So we've got strong kids, we've got athletic kids. This one should be a whole lot of fun. We'll see who can play the better basketball tonight. We'll worry about football some other time.
Reichter's really reaching in there on Guerin, trying to knock that ball away. Had it for a second. Guerin got control of it.
Jake Bargan in the corner, can't find the range. Quentin Jones the rebound.
He's going to pull that one out, not finding the numbers down court. Usually when you watch the Mustangs play, if they have the numbers, they will go for the advantage. If not, they'll kind of pull it back and wait for a little bit more help. 3
on top from Jacob Haight. Bounces out, so both teams starting cold from the field so far. Guerin with his dribble for Horn on the left side. Man-to-man defense for Sutton. It would be darn right sacrilege for them not to play man, right?
Of course, of course.
Mom might even say something about that.
Yes, Mom would definitely say something about that. Right now the Mustangs just kind of need to pass it around and get good looks. I think they have an offense that can work. They just got to get it to the men in the right spot.
There's a man in the right spot. See how I did that?
Yes.
I hope you two were listening to that.
I heard it.
That's good broadcasting right there. The man down there was Tyler Baldwin, and he draws the second foul on Caleb Horn. Caleb's got both of Centennial's fouls, and he checks out now. And Michael Nisley is into the ball game. The bleach blonde flat top. Michael is not hard to spot.
And the Mustangs really starting out not very strong on their shots. Normally by this point in the game, they'd have at least 5 or 6 with, I believe, only 1 right now, if we're reading the scoreboard right, of course.
Right. Yeah, it's 2. Yeah, Sutton has the 1.
Okay.
Sutton is the guest on the scoreboard, is the right side of the scoreboard. Hopefully we have that right on the graphic up there, Jackson.
Yeah, we made the change.
Okay, good.
It was a little confusing when they first announced it. It was well, what's going on now?
Yeah, Centennial is the road team, but we're going to keep the scoreboard the way it reads, which is Broncos. And it kind of came out weird. So, yeah, nobody knows who's got the score right now. Wiseman comes off the screen. His 3 bounces off. Cooper Guerin with the rebound. Leaves it up ahead. Joel Bargan will key things now nicely at the top. For Jake Bargan in the lane, and Jake lays it up and in. 4-1 Centennial on top. Almost to the halfway point first quarter. Colton Haight, number 10, by the way, is in the game. And that is Jacob Haight with it on the right wing. This is Jacob Haight on the move. Kicks it back out for Colton, who has it tipped and stolen away. This is Cooper Guerin all the way. First turnover for Sutton, by the way, on that steal, but it opens up a 6-1 lead for the Broncos. Onto the block, no, stolen away. Back-to-back turnovers. Joel Bargan picked that one off.
Right now the Broncos rolling with a lot of momentum. They got the home crowd here just screaming at the top of their lungs right now, and with that foul call adding to the noise level here and really fueling the fire that is the Broncos.
Jake Bargan going to the free throw line. We have a buzz from the score bench, but 2 shots. Nobody's checking in yet. The foul was on Sutton's Eli Skalka, who I think got the block fairly clean, and Nathan, correct me on this, looked like the block was okay. It was body contact underneath.
It certainly looked like
kind of after the shot almost.
Like a little body contact by him. And he's gotten a couple of those calls before too, so.
Bargan goes 1 for 2. Lane Zimmer back into the game for Centennial. Skalka over to the right side for Wiseman. Right in front of the Centennial student section in all white, where Sutton's playing offense. Bargan tips that one out. Wiseman up top, still can't find the range. And Gavin Dutton-Mofford pulls down the rebound.
And I think as soon as Wiseman finds a 3 or 2, it's going to definitely switch the momentum, especially the morale of the Mustang team right now.
Tough shot for Guerin, trying to keep it alive as Zimmer, but it's pulled down by Baldwin. Here come the Mustangs in desperate need of a field goal. To Baldwin on the block, that will work. A year ago in this game, it was Centennial that got a hot start offensively, but it was Garrett Noose defense and offense for Sutton that turned the tide in the second half as the Mustangs rolled to an SNC title. But Garrett Noose he's playing football in Lincoln now.
He is with the Huskers.
Onto the block, that's Zimmer. Amongst the trees, jump ball is the call.
Nice defense. Go ahead.
Yeah, possession will stay with Centennial.
Nice defense there by the Mustangs to keep who was that Lane Zimmer underneath the backboard. Couldn't get anything really to even get close to the rim. Lucky to get away with the jump ball there.
Guerin and Bargan, a little 2-man game on the inbounds. Bargan's 3 comes up short. Got a foul on the rebound. That's called on Zimmer. Be the first on Lane and the 3rd on Centennial. 5 total fouls, 3 on Centennial and 2 on Sutton so far in the ballgame. Last time down was the first field goal of the game for the Mustangs. Jones, baseline left side, blocked again by Bargan. Joel Bargan already 3 blocked shots. He had a bunch of those in their semifinal win on Thursday.
And Quentin Jones normally gets a couple more of those layups to go, but he's looking for a call, not finding it. And now a little confusion.
Now the officials are calling over and back. Now they will confer.
I did not see any contact there. I believe that's an over and back.
No, they are going to say it was touched. Yep, Dosso Bargan dove from the front court into the back court to keep it alive. And then the officials on the near side initially say over and back, but Dawson Nunnekamp got a fingertip on it before it was touched by Cooper Guerin on the far side. So that's why it was not over and back.
Yeah, if there was any contact, it's going to be minimal because you have 2 different refs seeing 2 different things, but they're very slightly off.
Yep. So we are going to play on, even though Coach Ladehoff still isn't saying, no, that's still not right. Jake Bargan might have got away with a travel right there, too. And Guerin's pass, he was trying to go on a little lob backdoor, but it got tipped away and stolen away. Wiseman spots it up. That's over the top of the backboard and out of bounds.
Now it looks as if the Mustangs are going to be told to play up on defense, make the Centennial squad work.
Man, that's like cheating. You just glance over there. Here they come. Oh, they're going to run this way. Come on, man.
Just a little bit.
All right. Onto the block. Not quite ready for that one was Zimmer, and it's going to go down as a turnover for the Broncos. So offense been tough to come by. Both these teams so athletic on defense. You better be having the shooting touch because you're not going to get too many good looks at the hoop. Quentin Jones thinks that's a good look, and he converts it.
And that being one of the first 3-point shots the Mustangs have made, that really changes momentum for a team that has quite a few outside shooters. Hopefully that can give the rest of the team a touch.
Final 10 seconds, first quarter. Centennial with the lead in the basketball. Bargan goes to work, stops, gets it for Joel, who is fouled with 2.1. Joel, that was self-preservation. A shot fake turned into, oh my gosh. As here came Jacob Haight flying at him. On the ground, so not on the shot. Michael Knisley will toss it in. 2.1 on the clock. Jake Bargan will spot it up. The double clutch 3 will not fall. 7-6. Nope, not a football game, but it kind of feels a little bit like that. The next defensive stop might win. Back for the second quarter after this on StriveSports.com.
Welcome back to the second quarter of action here in Centennial. We have the Sutton Mustangs playing the Centennial Broncos for this SNC championship game. Right now the Broncos have a 7-6 lead, but the Mustangs will have the ball to start the second quarter.
So obviously you could tell offense was tough to come by in that first quarter. Each team only turned it over 3 times, but just finding open shots is a nightmare right now. We've got long, quick athletes. There's a steal. Cade Wiseman goes on Guerin and finishes.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's a 7-0 run right now for the Mustangs.
It is, actually. Yeah. I don't know if we can call it a run, but it's
it's a 7-0 scoring.
It's 7 straight points, not a run. We could say that. That's how you say it. If it takes more than 2 minutes, it's not a run. If it takes a quarter and a half.
More of a trot.
Yeah. There you go. Bargan goes right, hesitates, can't finish, got it back as it's stripped by Jones and out of bounds.
Nice job by Jones to come around on that backside. Caught Bargan kind of off guard. He's looking at the rim and just stripped it away.
Guerin takes the inbounds for Zimmer. Hands it off for Jake Bargan. Now Joel and Cooper Guerin. We'll pick and roll. Nobody home. Bargan was expecting a different pass, and the one he got, and there's a hip check from Knisley, and I think that will send Jacob Haight to the free throw line.
Just noticing on that last Bronco possession, if you look at the Mustangs bench, they're calling out the plays. They've obviously done a lot of film study and a lot of work to prepare against this Broncos offense, not only because they've played them before in the season, but because this is a big matchup as it is the SNC championship.
A tournament's a tournament. Doesn't matter the opponents, but especially when it's the conference one. Feels a little bigger, doesn't it?
Just a little bit.
Haight makes 1 of 2. And 9-7 our score.
Just looking at it visually, the Mustangs have really changed up their offense and defense, playing a lot more aggressive, playing a little faster, and see what the Broncos can do in response, but thus far they haven't scored since. Now Gearhan with the jump shot, no good.
The defensive rebound by Colton Haight.
It even seems to me like this quarter we have the teams already being more careful with the ball. And now a foul.
Eli Skalka got free for just a moment, missed it once, but he got fouled on the second attempt. And they will call it on Zimmer, the freshman, his second, team's 5th. And Skalka will go to the free throw line for 2. Sutton as a team now 3 for 5 at the free throw line. By the way, Carson Richter's just checked in for Centennial. If you saw our matchup graphic, or you saw the one that Strive Sports tweeted, that graphic made by Carson Richter's, Strive Academy student, and a basketball player. How about that? 1 for 2 there for Skalka, but the putback is good by Jackson Anderson.
And talk about your bench coming out hot and helping your team really get working in the ball game. He just got in the game he was on the court maybe a minute, and he gets the putback.
Timeout, Centennial, and Sutton is happy about it. It's a full timeout. We're going to step aside as well. We'll come back to Centennial High School after this.
Sportsmanship is vital to every team member in their success on their team.
Sportsmanship isn't something that's just limited to expressing within your own team. It's important to positively interact with not only your competitors, but their fan base as well. How you react and represent your team reflects your school's character.
Sportsmanship goes way further than the field. It starts by pride in themselves and respect towards others.
Today, we're proud to watch these communities grow because they're our communities too. Our neighbors, our friends. It's where we live. These are all our hometowns. And no matter what, the people who will continue to serve your needs with the hometown support you know and trust are just down the street. Cornerstone Bank.
Welcome back to the SNC Conference Championship between the Sutton Mustangs and the Centennial Broncos. We got an exciting matchup thus far. Mustangs starting to pull away with it, though, a little bit. They are up by 5, 7-12 is the score. 5:42 to go in the second quarter.
All right, now we can call this a run. 6-0 in the quarter. Well, I'll give you that, fellas. We'll give you that one. Centennial lines it up. Jake Bargan answers out of the timeout.
And
His first 3, that gives him 6 points and a 2-point deficit for Centennial.
That was definitely a huge shot. He had 2 Mustang defenders on him, both with their hands up, flying at him.
Jones, his 3, no, but an offensive rebound for Skalka.
Caught Bargan not checking out and just reached around with Skalka and got the rebound.
Wiseman for 3. We've mentioned Cade a couple times. When he gets 1 to go, usually 3 or 4 in a row go, and Michael Knisley is down on the bench, on the floor, on the far side. He tried to come to a stop. And somewhere in that right leg is hurting. Jason Brueggemann is our trainer on staff for the games here tonight. So going to get Michael to 1 foot anyway. And going to take him probably back to the locker room area. So the Broncos, without the services of Michael Knisley, and hope everything turns out okay for him. Just not putting any pressure on that right leg as he hops down the hallway.
Well, that's not huge loss for the Broncos. He's extremely fast and plays very good defense there. You saw him trying to save that ball before the injury. Really plays with a lot of heart and has a lot of athletic ability.
Yeah, he's not one to get a ton of points usually, but a couple deflections and some key rebounds at times, and good defense is the primary role for him. So we'll see how the Broncos do adjust. Trailing by 2, just past 3 minutes gone in the second quarter. Colton Haight, right side, guarded by Richters. Baseline he goes. Throws it for Jones in the corner. Now up for Jackson Anderson. Now for Wiseman. Skip it, near corner. Jones the 3, way long, an air ball. Bargan the rebound.
Broncos, after a big 3, see what they have this time for the Mustangs on offense.
Dutton Milford on the right corner. And through the hands of Richters, a race to the sideline, and it's stolen away. The steal there for Colton Haight, up ahead for Anderson, who banks it in on the run.
For Anderson, that's 2 times in the game he's gotten key points. One was on the putback he just got in the game. That one on a steal to help stop the momentum swing that the Broncos could have quite possibly had.
Back to a 4-point lead for the Mustangs. Bargan a step back long, 2 is an air ball, and the defensive rebound for Jackson Anderson. We're going to have to get this guy starting position. He's making plays all over the place now. Skalka turns, kicks it out. Anderson thought about the 3, didn't take it. Now Jones has it. Up top for Wiseman. Back to Jones. Onto the block, here comes the triple team. Skalka kicks it out. Anderson will take the 3. That time it goes long, and a foul on the rebound is going to be against Sutton's Colton Haight.
Yeah, he had 2 hands in the back of who was that, Richters, and got called for the push.
You know, now that I think about it, Carson was at the Strive Education Conference on Tuesday up in Midland. It's inbound stolen. Quentin Jones leaves it for Haight. Blocking foul. Turnovers are mounting for the Broncos now. That's 8 in the game and 5 in the quarter.
Bargan there just not quite getting his feet set before he tried to take the charge and ended up the foul being on him.
Yep. Joel's first, the team's 6th. 2 shots, the first is good for Haight.
He's asking about it, though. He believes he did have his feet planted. Official says, well, nothing I can really do about it now, and either way, you didn't.
And the official said no. Offensive rebound.
The other Haight.
It's the other Haight.
Absolutely nobody checked out there for the
Well, I think
Broncos.
whoever it was for Centennial fell down And Haight was like, okay, I'll take this and shoot it again. The lead is 7. It's the largest lead of the game for Sutton. Just under 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter. And a pass deflected, and it's stolen away. And it's Anderson, coast to coast. Jackson Anderson has come off the bench, and he scored 6 points in the quarter, and the lead is 9 for the Mustangs.
Talk about that good defense. He also had to first force the turnover, and then afterwards finishes up with the layup.
30-second timeout taken by Coach Cam Scholl and the Centennial Broncos. Earlier tonight, the Superior Wildcats finished off an SNC championship game over Milford. 57-30 was the final, and that was after a 15-point fourth quarter for the Eagles. It was all Superior, led by the Meyer twins, not twins, girls. Kaylynn, 24 points. I had her for 5 blocks and about 15 rebounds as well. Shayla Meyer scored 16 points. Trisha Hage scored 7 for the Wildcats in that one, grabbing their 3rd SNC title in the last 4 years. Fun stuff. And they were 4th a year ago. I look back at my notes. Got beaten in the semifinals and then beaten by Milford in the 3rd place game. Not Milford. Centennial. Excuse me. Centennial in the 3rd place game a year ago. Guerin on the drive, hangs off the glass. No, but 2 free throws coming for Cooper Guerin. That's the best drive Cooper's had in the game. He's had a lot of pull-up jump shots, as the foul was on Jacob Haight, his 2nd, team's 5th. 2 shots for Guerin.
Let's see what the Broncos drew up during that timeout. They led at 7-1, and since then they've only scored 3 points. Now the free throw from Guerin, but the Mustangs really got pretty hot and have scored, 18 points in the meantime.
Yeah, 18-3, 18-4 right now is the run, quote unquote. That's the scoring. Maury Batista's in the game for Sutton, but Cade Wiseman's got it. Now Jones in the corner. In amongst the double team, but gets it out of there and gets it over to the right side. The layup no good by Baldwin. A fight on the rebound. No shot.
Bargan wants an over-the-back call or a push call. Isn't going to get one. Is in disbelief there on the far side.
Now, in fact, it's going to be Joel with the foul and a 1-on-1 opportunity for Haight.
And you see the entire Mustangs bench stand up and wanting the and one. To me, of course, a little biased. It looked like he kind of had the shot off, but who knows? If you can step up and make 2 free throws, it's kind of equivalent, just not really. Not quite the effect.
Right. The lead swells to 10. 2 minutes to go, second quarter. Bargan on the dribble drive. And draws the foul on Baldwin.
Bargan looking like he's taking some frustration out on that drive, trying to put it in.
I don't think Joel really wanted to pass on that possession there. Did
No,
you guys?
It did not look like it.
His head was down and he had the ball in his hands.
Yes.
He was bound and determined to put that ball in the hoop one way or another.
And I'm going to that block, whether you want me to or not.
Yes.
Skalka returns as Baldwin goes to the bench with the 2 fouls. Both teams are in the bonus for the rest of the half, by the way. Four points in the game for Joel Bargan. The lead is 8 for Sutton. Minute 45 to go, first half. Batista along the baseline. Nice pass to the backside block. And the layup good by Colton Haight.
Nice pass through traffic to get it there. That was really impressive.
Gearhen tries to go behind his back, lost it. And the layup, no good that time from Haight. Bargan grabs the rebound.
I hate to see it, but when you're on the left side, you use your left hand to shoot a layup, not your right hand. That doesn't happen as often if you use your left hand.
Of course, if you're going 80 miles an hour at the hoop, it's tough to make it no matter which hand you use.
Yes.
Bargan's got it. Now that's Jake Bargan on the wing.
I think a big key to the Broncos getting going is getting Jake involved in this game. Does he have any points or 2 points maybe?
Well, he's got 6 actually.
Oh, really?
but they've come, one field goal in the first quarter and then a free throw later in the quarter. He did a 3 early in this quarter, and that's it. Like nothing consistent anyway.
Yeah, on Thursday I commentated that game, and he was red hot and just carried the Broncos. I don't want to say carried, the other team did a lot of scoring as well, but if you needed somebody to get a basket, you were giving it to him.
So final 35 seconds of the first half. Jones on the dive down the lane, had it partially blocked by Bargan. 4th block for Joel in the first half.
Joel struggling a little bit on offense, but he's been really strong on defense. As you said, 4th block already.
Well, and you've got Cooper Guerin with 3 points, and you've got Jake Bargan with 6, and you got another loose ball and another steal. It's the turnovers that have come way up. 5 seconds to go. Wiseman with it. Pulls up his 3.
And he's
fouled by Jake Bargan.
And I think Jake Bargan, that ball went right through his hands that caused him that turnover, and they're trying to help his team out a little bit, not let that 3 go in, trying to block it, got called for the foul.
So 3 free throws here for Cade Wiseman, who's got just 2 points so far in this game. And just 1 for 3, so it turns out okay. Guerin will throw it length of the floor and miss the hoop. Halftime, it is all Sutton. 24-13 at the end of 2 quarters here at Centennial for the SNC Championship. We will take a halftime break and come back to the home of the Broncos after this on StriveSports.com.
Sportsmanship is vital to every team member in their success on their team.
Sportsmanship isn't something that's just limited to expressing within your own team. It's important to positively interact with not only your competitors, but their fan base as well. How you react and represent your team reflects your school's character.
Sportsmanship goes way further than the field. It starts by pride in themselves and respect towards others.
Sportsmanship.
My name is William Scarf. I'm a diesel tech here in York, Nebraska for Truck Center Companies. Before I started working here, I helped a smaller mechanic shop, and I did some work here and there. And then I started working on some engines at home in my shop. And then that's when I kind of got my jump with diesel. I've liked the experience they're giving me, the hours they're able to give me, and just the training and all the accessories. Pay is good, benefits are wonderful. Basically, they offer basically all benefits. Pretty happy that I was able to find it so quickly, right after high school basically. It was really jump right into it, and it turns out to be a really good place to start a career. My name is William Scarf. I'm a diesel tech here in York, Nebraska for Truck Center Companies. Before I started working here, I helped a smaller mechanic shop, and I did some work here and there, and then I started.
Together. It's thanks to you that we're where we are today. We're proud to watch these communities grow because they're our communities too. Our neighbors, our friends. It's where we live. These are all our hometowns. And no matter what, the people who will continue to serve your needs with the hometown support you know and trust are just down the street. Cornerstone Bank, growing together. It's thanks to you that we're where we are today. We're proud to watch these communities grow because they're our communities too. Our neighbors, our friends. It's where we live.
Welcome back to Centennial for this second half of play in the SNC Conference Championship between the Sutton Mustangs and the Centennial Broncos. Thus far, Mustangs with an 11-point advantage over the Broncos. Score is 24-13. Broncos will have the ball, though, to start the second half, see what they drew up during the break.
Well, Nathan, I said it at halftime, but if you had told me that Cade Wiseman and Tyler Baldwin would combine for 5 first-half points, I'd probably tell you that Sutton is also losing, and that is not the case.
Yeah, it's not. And one stat, I mean, Jacob Haight, I don't know how many he has off the top of my head, but
3.
Normally he has about 6 or 7 at halftime too.
Right.
So
first foul of the second half on Dawson Neunenkamp. But I think it goes to show you the first of all how well defensively Sutton has played, and they have been fantastic. As Jake Bargan, that was probably the best look at the hoop Jake has had all night, and it still wouldn't go down. He did have 6 points in that first half for Centennial. Cooper Guerin, though, just 3. Joel Bargan with 4. That's it. That's the scoring in the first half for Centennial. And for Sutton, we mentioned Wiseman 3 and Baldwin 2, but then 4 from Quentin Jones, 5 from Colton Haight. Jacob Haight with 3. Jackson Anderson off the bench leads everybody with 6. And a free throw from Eli Skalka. 30-second timeout taken here to save the possession for the Mustangs. The end of the regular season very much in sight for most of the girls' teams in the state. Maybe 2 games left. The guys probably have another 2 or 3 after that, so maybe 3 or 4 for most boys' teams in the state before they get to the postseason. Which will start, and of course, and I don't know your guys' thoughts, but I love the. I know most general public will call it the sub-state round. The NSAA still labels it the district final, but you play your sub-district, and then it's your 8 sub-districts are actually in C and D. It's the 12 sub-district winners, and then the next in wildcard points to make a 16-team field, basically. And 1 plays 16, 2 plays 15, and so on and so forth. And those 8 winners go to state. I love this format. It's way better, I think, than the wild cards, and it's way better than losing you're done, too.
Yeah, it's a dramatic improvement over the old system, I would say.
By the way, who made the 3 for Sutton?
that would have been Cade Wiseman, and I was just talking to a parent at halftime, and they pointed out that these rims down here on the Mustang and now seem to be not quite as soft as the other ones, and that might definitely improve the Mustang shot.
One thing, though, about this end of the court, with having those glass windows or whatever you want to call it, that really throws off a shooter trying to shoot the ball. You lose that depth perception. And let's see what, the Broncos obviously really don't have an issue with it because they play in it almost every day. Let's see what the Mustangs can do, though, with it now that they're on that side of the floor.
Jacob Haight fouled by Joel Bargan. That's 3 on Joel. First on the Broncos of the second half. Guerin hounded by Wiseman. Now it's Caleb Horn, who was scoreless in that first half. Can't get the shot, and then one from behind. Lane Zimmer grabs a rebound, will get a couple of free throws for the effort. Call it on Baldwin, Tyler's third, team's second. And Eli Skalka will replace Baldwin in the Mustang lineup. Well, as long as it goes through the rim. That didn't have a lot of arch on it, did it?
No, it was a decently flat shot.
I don't think it was ever higher than the square on the backboard, actually.
Just laser beamed it in there.
It just has to go above the rim and then through the rim. Still, though, it's Sutton by 2 touchdowns here in the third quarter. Wouldn't have been the first time we would have said that in the fall.
When you first said it, I'm like, we're playing basketball, Eric. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, oh, duh.
Hey, you remember in the first quarter when it was 7-6?
Yep.
And it was a defensive slugfest? Bargan gets a kick out. Joel's 3 short, and the defensive rebound for Skalka. Hates 3, no. Chases zone rebound, and it's going to be out off of Jacob. He and Joel Bargan both had a hand on it at one point there.
Lucky Hates to get his own rebound. He wasn't checked out at all, wasn't touched, and could have almost put that in for 2 points instead of the 3 that he was originally going for.
I bet he would have taken it, though.
I think most would, especially at this point, just continuing to build that lead for the Mustangs, up by 14.
Bargan gets by his man, pulls up, long range 2, and it's good. Jake Bargan with the basket, 8 points. He leads the Broncos, but they need, he's also got half the points.
And that's what he did Thursday night. He was so successful just inside the arc. He needs to get going with that part of his game if the Broncos want to have a chance at this one.
Baseline, and Joel Bargan blocks another one.
Actually, I think that might have been Jake Bargan.
Was that Jake that got that?
If I'm not mistaken. It looked like he kind of reached around with his hand and knocked it out.
Okay, fine. Gavin Dutton-Milford comes in for Centennial.
Talking about Centennial's bench, it looks like, number 1, Michael Knisley is back on the bench. He didn't look like he was having too much trouble walking, but I didn't get to see him very much. But to know he's back on the bench, and it's a good thing to see.
Wiseman baseline, left it short, offense rebound, Haight, up and under, got it. Jacob Haight with 6 points in the game. The lead is 14 for Sutton. And the steal for Quentin Jones.
Nice job by him. Joel Bargan telegraphed that pass, and he saw it all the way, got the steal, and got the easy layup.
And a fun fact about that one, he shot that with his right-handed layup. He's actually a left-handed ball player, so using his non-dominant hand in order to make that layup.
Well, Coach would have had something to say about that if he didn't, right? That one blocked out. Jacob Haight swats it away from Lane Zimmer.
I think he saw Joel Bargan having a lot of fun with those blocks. He's like, hey, you're going to do that to my team. I'm going to do it back to your team. I'll have some fun with it, too.
Anything you can do, I can do better. Guerin on a 3. No, it's Caleb Horn. And a 3-pointer for Caleb Horn. His first points of the game. That's about the first time I've called Caleb Horn's name in this game, I feel like.
Now that'll get some momentum going for the Broncos. See if they can use it to their advantage.
Still down 13, though, with 3 minutes to go third quarter. Not insurmountable if you're Centennial here. It's not like Sutton's got this wild momentum offensively. But if you can start knocking down some shots, get this thing under 10 points going to the fourth quarter, anybody's game over the last 8 minutes.
Right now the Broncos playing really tight defense. They're really flying around, staying in front of their man.
That will help a throwaway into the backcourt.
And that's a product of the Broncos playing a really tight defense. Is eventually you're going to make a mistake on offense.
Let's chalk this up to a stat that cannot possibly be right. I have that the third Sutton turnover. It might not be far off, though. Centennial, conversely, 13 turnovers.
The Mustangs, they've been really strong on offense. I mean, they're either scoring or not getting a rebound. That's about the only time that they give the ball away.
Caleb Horn throws it out of bounds. Jones, Skalka, travel.
Yeah, he picked up that pivot foot before he put the dribble down.
The Mustangs still applying the pressure. They've kind of been doing it a little bit here in the third quarter, just trying to see if they can force a turnover. And a couple times they've been successful. We'll just see if they can keep it on this quarter.
Horn misfires from long range. Jones clears the rebound.
Horn, he was guarded by Height, and all of a sudden Height just sagged way down to the block, and he was wide open for the three. Unfortunately, couldn't put it in, but had a wide open look.
Just a tiny correction. That is Haight.
Haight?
Yes, Haight.
I don't know, it looks like Height, doesn't it?
It does. Multiple people have said that before, and I've been like, well, it's actually Haight, but I'm used to it because, you know, my last name gets mispronounced quite often as well.
I can agree with that on my last name.
Everybody says all good, right? If you guys would get last names that were
get the
easy
right
to
last
say.
name.
Not everybody spells it right, if you can believe that. Like, really? How do you not spell all good?
People have a hard time spelling Lotzenheiser, which is my last name. That's
well, that's just asking for it.
Well, it's pretty. If you think about it, sound it out. It's pretty much the way it sounds.
I doubt it.
Isn't that how the English language works, though?
What nationality is Lotzenheisen?
German.
Yeah. Yeah, it does sound like Gesundheit a little bit, doesn't it? Sutton wants one shot in the quarter. Doesn't want to give Centennial a chance to make it a single-digit game.
To the chance of boring from the Centennial student section, but I just don't think the Mustangs care. They could hold it all day if they wanted.
You know what? If you want to speed somebody up, go guard them.
Yeah.
Anybody that says we need a shot clock in high school, I'll say the same thing to them. If they can hold it for 3 minutes and not shoot it, then that's on you. Gearin with a steal, Gearin with a layup. Nothing, though, at the end of the quarter.
Unfortunate Gearhan couldn't take advantage of that steal. Really, I don't know who it was, but on the Mustang side wasn't looking at all, and Gearhan picked it off.
So end of three, 32-21. Sutton on top the final 8 minutes. The boys' SNC championship game is coming up.
Centennial. We got one more quarter of basketball to play in this boys SNC championship matchup between the Sutton Mustangs and the Centennial Broncos. Broncos starting to claw away at that lead that the Mustangs hold. We'll see what this final quarter of action brings.
Yeah, I think that last possession where Gearin got the steal but couldn't get the layup at the buzzer, that could prove to be big, and there's a dagger right out of the gate in the fourth quarter from Cade Wiseman. 9 points now for Cade in the ball game.
And now a turnover by Gearhan. So he gets the ball off a turnover, he gives it away. All within the span of a minute.
The ball giveth, the ball taketh away. Of note, while Michael Knisley has returned to the Centennial bench, he has not returned to the playing floor. Nonetheless, good to see him out there. Onto the block, Baldwin turns, squares up on Bargan, but Joel with the 3 fouls kind of plays easy, if you will, and Baldwin lays it in. And then Horn loses his footing. Wiseman the steal, and Wiseman lost his footing.
I think coming up behind Wiseman was Gearin, and I don't know if he kind of felt that pressure coming and started to inch his way forward, but yeah.
He was leaning back, expecting contact, and then the contact wasn't there, and his feet slipped out from underneath him.
And I mean, you always say this in retrospect, you always see the play and you're like, well, if he would have just gone up, he might have drawn a foul or even made the shot instead of getting a turnover.
Jake Bargan up top, drives in, a little floater, left it short though. And Baldwin the rebound. Back into the corner, Jacob Haight for 3.
Nice pump fake and kick out by Wiseman. Really drew the defense in and then kicked it out, as you saw, and they got the 3.
And if the Mustangs start catching fire like this, who knows? They could start making a couple more 3s.
All right, Jackson, you got play-by-play for the next 2 minutes. You get the scoring.
And the 3 is good. I didn't see by who.
Joel Bargan answered back from the top of the key.
Full timeout taken by Centennial. So Bargan makes a 3, timeout Centennial. A timeout for us. We'll come back on StriveSports.com.
These are all our hometowns. And no matter what, the people who will continue to serve your needs with the hometown support you know and trust are just down the street. Cornerstone Bank. Growing together. It's thanks to you.
By 16 score is 40-24. Mustangs with the advantage. They'll have the ball out of the timeout. Quentin Jones is going to bring it up the floor. Met at the volleyball 10-foot line by Gearin. Mustangs trying to rotate the ball around. Stepping in is Quentin Jones. Hands off to Wiseman. In the corner now, looking to drive in. Is Newnenkamp. And tight defense being played by the Broncos, not allowing the Mustangs to get within the 3-point line. Oh, wide open down low. They didn't see him. Quentin Jones on the right block. Lucky there for Haight to get that ball away. Now driving in is Quentin Jones. Blocked by Bargan, out on Bargan. It'll be Mustang ball.
And the Mustangs in a box set for inbounds.
Oh, nice steal there. Coming from Lane Zimmer. And ball tipped out of bounds. It'll be Bronco ball. They're down 16. They got a little less than 5:30 to play in the fourth quarter. Horn up top, flips to Joel Bargan, shoots the 3, off the mark. Rebound coming from Jacob Haight. I'm going to say it every time.
Don't I have it written as Haight in the book?
You might. I wasn't looking at the book, though.
All right.
Horn playing tight defense now on Haight.
There you go.
What are they going to get?
A defensive foul away from the ball on Jake Bargan. Kind of ran through the screen a little bit.
Only 2 team fouls on each team, so quite a ways away from the bonus. So it's not like we're going to take these last 5 minutes and make them an hour. We still got
Don't get me started on the Elam ending again, Nathan. Don't do it. I love it.
I was watching one of the consolation games doing the video for it. It seemed to take forever, and I just thought back to you. I was like, man, what if we had this ending? I was like, the game would have been so much shorter.
When we get closer to the end, I'll explain it to you.
Oh, nice flip back. Gets to Baldwin in the corner. Doesn't do anything with it. Gets it to Haight. Haight brings it up top. Now Jones looking to set up the offense for the Mustangs. Guarded by Gearin. Gearin trying to reach around and tip it away.
You know, as a guard, you make a great pass like that to the post in the corner, and then they just kind of don't do anything at all. And you're like, come on, man.
That wouldn't be the first 3 that Tyler Baldwin has made. There was a home game. He came out first play of the game, got the ball, stepped up to the 3-point line, just knocked it down.
Oh, go ahead.
Was that called like that? Was it supposed to happen?
No, he just was wide open, took the 3, and made it. He's lucky he made it. Otherwise, there would have been some.
There would have been words.
Just a couple.
Broncos continuing in the man-to-man defense, putting a lot of pressure on now. Driving in is Wiseman. Flips, tipped away by Joel Bargan. Bargan trying to save it, can't. And now Noonenkamp's going to get a hold of it. Mustangs really taking a lot of time off the clock.
I think they've had the ball for just about 2 minutes here in the running. You said 5.5, and now it's 3.5. And
Gearin trying to tip it away. He's going to get called for the foul. Ran through Quentin Jones.
Looks like there's a timeout called. All the Mustangs are standing up.
They're waving it off, it looked like. Or
No. How's that for coaching?
I guess.
The foul got called, and Coach Lederhoff immediately said, everybody over here. And Sutton came over, and they got like a 15-second timeout out of the fact that the officials called a foul.
Joel Bargan gets the tip and the steal off the backboard.
Now, didn't get to do anything with it.
Just over 3 minutes to go now for the Broncos. Get some offense going. They're down 16. Horn just beyond the 3-point arc. Gets it over to Jake Bargan. Now Horn again, right wing. Driving baseline. Go underneath, goes up. Can't put it in. Rebound by Quentin Jones. Broncos unable to do anything with that possession. Mustangs with it now in the corner. Haight has it.
Haight.
Driving. Haight.
Look at the buck, man. You're watching a classroom. Remember that, folks. You are watching a classroom.
And now timeout taken by the Mustangs. It's a full timeout. They have a 16-point advantage. They have 2:36 left to go before they become SNC tournament champions.
In our variety of name brand snacks is the variety of people who walk through our front doors. And at this point, nothing you ask for surprises us. From tube chips, tri-cornered tortilla crisps, icing bluffs, pressurized buttery corn puffs, meat missiles, small people covered in sour crystals, protein cocoon, pizza chews, tree sprites, chocolate stripes, stuff we can't advertise. Sweet, salty, also sour. Adolescent jet power. No matter who you are or what you're craving, we got it. Pump up your day at Pumpin' Pantry. At Pumpin' Pantry, the only thing more surprising
Vital
than
to every team member in their success on their team.
Sportsmanship isn't something that's just limited to expressing within your own team. It's important to positively interact with not only your competitors, but their fan base as well. How you react and represent your team.
Welcome back to the action here in Centennial. We got 2 minutes and 36 seconds to go in the fourth quarter here in this SNC tournament championship game between the Sutton Mustangs and the Centennial Broncos. Mustangs with an advantage, and they'll have the ball out of the timeout.
Mustangs going to set various screens to get open for the inbounds, and Quentin Jones with the ball now, trying to escape the pressure, and the Mustangs are going to get a quick timeout in order to save the ball. This is going to be a 30-second timeout, and only a couple of seconds to roll off the clock. Jacob Haight taking the ball out on the sideline. And the Mustangs set up in a box formation. And they're going to get the ball inbounded to Quentin Jones. And now there's going to be the foul by number 22, Cooper Gearhan. Second personal, fourth team foul.
Gearhan there. Oh,
Go ahead.
I was going to say Gearhan there trying to get aggressive, get a steal. Got called for the reach.
And the Mustangs still have to go endure 2 fouls as the Broncos are 2 away from being in the bonus. So right now the Mustangs just got to hold on to the ball. Tyler Baldwin's going to get a nice post move down low on the block for 2 points. That'll extend the lead. So we got Gearhan with the 3. In and out, rebound by Zimmer. Now the ball's on the floor, and they're going to call him out of bounds. Either way, the result would have been the same. Wiseman caught the ball, but a call out of bounds gives time for Centennial to set up their defense. Quentin Jones again with the inbound, and they're going to clear out and let Jones handle the ball, and now we got a foul on Gearhan.
Gearhan again getting aggressive, gets called with the push there.
Well, yeah, and, if you're Centennial, you should be doing that because you still got 2 fouls before you're in the bonus.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, I get it. Just helping you out, man. What's his name?
Gearin?
No, that one. That one with the ball. That one with the ball. Say his name, quick.
Me, Colton Haight.
Oh, you wanted me to say it?
I wanted Jackson to say it.
That ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to go off.
Quick, what's the margin of the game? Jackson?
18.
There you go.
Out of bounds off Joel Bargan.
How do you say 10 and 22's last name?
Haight.
Thank you.
There you go. Look at that. You're learning.
Classroom. You're watching a classroom, everybody. You are watching a classroom.
Starts drilling us with math questions.
Hey. You can't say somebody's up by a lot. Duh.
Wiseman handling the ball, and now the foul on Jake Bargan. Going to be his 3rd personal. 6-team foul. 1 away from the bonus. The next foul will send the ball handler to the line, shooting 1-and-1. And we'll see. It might be Jones. It might be Haight. It might be Wiseman. It could be, well, considering there's 2 Haights out there, that's a 4 and 5 chance. See? Math.
Whoa.
And now it's going to send Wiseman to the line. Foul by Jake Bargan. 4th personal. 7th team foul.
Are you filling in the book as you go? Are you filling in my book?
Yeah, I'm filling in your book.
Okay.
I'm filling in your book.
Is Anderson playing for the first time in the second half?
I believe this is his first time the second half.
He came off 6 points in the first half.
He came off a really strong.
God, you got to talk to that coach. Get him some more playing time.
Wiseman knocks down that first free throw. I mean, it also helps that our starters started to make a couple. Sutton started to make a couple buckets. He didn't need the bench as much.
Well, yeah.
Wiseman missing. Joel Bargan on the rebound. Joel Bargan's going to spot up, try to shoot it. Colton Haight can't quite grab the rebound, and now we got a jump ball. The arrow on the scoreboard is pointing towards Centennial, and it will be correct. We're going to see Jake Bargan going to take the ball out on the baseline. And the Broncos also electing to be in a box set. Try to inbound it, get some screens. Almost look like an elevator screen. You have 2 guys going up. And Jake Bargan knocks that one down.
Unfortunately, that 3 just coming a little bit too late with only 30 seconds to go. And
now a kickball violation. It'll be dead ball out of bounds. And the Sutton student section thoroughly overjoyed that that the Sutton Mustangs, it looks like, will be the Southern Nebraska Conference champions once again, back-to-back. And Colton Haight is going to elect to dribble the ball, and he's going to dribble out the last 10 seconds. It looks as if the Sutton Mustangs win this game 43-27 over the Centennial Broncos at their home court, and you're looking at your new SNC Conference champions, the Sutton Mustangs.
It's the new champs that look a lot like the old champs.
Very much.
Back to back for Sutton.
Of course.
Run down the final scoring. There's good math.
There's good math.
Start with Centennial. Add up all the points.
Okay.
And away you go. Well, folks, while Nathan's adding up the points, I want to say thank you again to the Milford SOAR live streaming crew, live from the nest. You guys totally rocked Thursday and tonight. Nathan from Sutton, you did fantastic, dude. Hey, no, I ain't talking anymore. I ain't talking anymore. Tell the folks at home who scored what. I got to go take a picture of Sutton.
Of course. So from Centennial, your final score total, Jake Bargan with 13, Joel Bargan with 7, Cooper Gearhand with 3, and Lane Zimmer with 1. For the Mustangs, Cade Wiseman with 10, Jacob Haight with 9, Quentin Jones with 6, Jackson Anderson with 6, Tyler Baldwin with 6, Colton Haight with 5, and Eli Skalka with 1. Your Mustangs coming out on top in this SNC conference game as they receive the plaque, and we'll move on with the rest of the regular season to finish up.